Welcome, and thank you for spending the time to watch this short presentation to learn more about psychology at HSDC. This presentation will briefly outline the course content, then provide additional information in respect to resources used, exam success, potential opportunities to mention a few. First, if you didn't know, psychology is a scientific study of human behaviour and mental processes. Now, students in their first year will consider what we call introductory topics in psychology.
So we look at social influence, which is looking at how others affect our behaviour. We will look at conformity and obedience. So conformity, when do we go along with the crowd and why? And obedience, why do we obey authority figures? We will look at key research by Milgram showing how easily perfectly nice human beings can be prompted to give fatal electric shocks to others.
Memory. Here you will examine short-term memory and long-term memory. You will learn about the famous case study of HM, where a part of his brain sucked out by a rogue surgeon. He later became one of the most studied people of psychology of all time. We will also look at explanations of forgetting. We will examine whether eyewitness testimony is reliable and how we can improve witness recall of information.
We look at attachment, which is all about the bond formed between an infant and its caregiver. We look at the differences between animal and human attachment, consider why we attach, and also look at the link between poor attachment in childhood and poor adult relationships.
Psychopathology. This is probably one of the favourite topic areas of students. Here we will start with a controversial debate. What is abnormal? What is normal? Then we will consider three types of abnormality: depression, OCD, phobias. We will look at the explanations for these disorders and then consider the treatments. In addition, students will look at biopsychology. Much of this unit you've probably considered in GCSE science. We will look at the nervous system, your endocrine system. We will then look at ways of studying the brain, and my favourite topic area, localization and lateralization of function, basically which part of the brain does what. Approaches is the last topic area we consider at the end of the academic year. This topic area looks at the historical timeline of psychology. It considers the different schools of thought, such as the all-important learning approach, the challenger eugenics movement, and not forgetting the psychodynamic approach devised by Freud. Alongside these topic areas, you will also learn about research methods. You'll learn about how these psychologists carried out this research, but importantly, you will also be given the opportunity to carry out some of your own research yourself. In the second year, we'll look at issues and options in psychology. One topic area we'll consider is issues and debates. Here, obviously, we'll look at the major debates within psychology, such as the nature-nurture debate, or free will and determinism. Free will, do you have active control over your own behaviour, or is that behaviour determined by factors outside your control, such as your genetic makeup, or indeed your upbringing?
We'll look at cognition and development, which considers how children's thinking changes as they grow. So how does a 3-year-old think about the world in comparison to an 8-year-old? We will look at what happens when cognition doesn't develop in the way we would expect. So we study autistic spectrum disorders. And we tie in some biopsychology, finding out about the role mirror neurons play in empathy or social cognition. We also look at schizophrenia, a severe mental disorder which affects 1 in 100 in the general population. We will study its symptoms, consider the pros and cons of our current diagnostic systems, and look at a variety of explanations for and treatments of schizophrenia.
Forensic psychology. This is probably the unit that students look forward to the most. Here, you'll be taught about offender profiling. Then we will look at explanations of criminal behaviour. Can you indeed be born a criminal? Or is it again something that you learn from your environment? Then we will look at the psychological effects of prison and how to reduce reoffending. It's important to remember that the assessment is 100% exam-based. At the end of your second year, you will have 3 exams, each of them 2 hours long.
Our pass rate in psychology for 2019-20 was 100%, with 37% of students gaining a high grade. Psychology is delivered in 1 2-hour class and 2 1.5-hour classes per week. Students may progress to a whole range of careers, both directly and indirectly linked to the subject. Psychology is studied at HSDC on the AQA specification, which is a very well resourced exam board. Students become familiar with Google Classroom and are expected to complete flipped learning outside of class. By setting the easier tasks for homework, it frees up time in class for higher level skills development, analysis and evaluation, and also ensures extensive time for exam preparation.
Thank you very much. We look forward to seeing you at HSDC soon.
Hi and welcome to the A-Level Sociology on the Havant Campus. My name is Charlie Miller and I'm going to give you a quick introduction into the assessment of the Sociology A-Level before we move on to content and you'll get to meet the rest of the team. You will take 3 exams at the end of the 2 years, 1 exam for each of the components. Component 1 is culture, socialisation, youth culture and education. Component 2 is research methods and component 3 is social inequalities, crime and deviance, which predominantly we study in the 2nd year. A question we often get asked in open evening is, what is sociology? Sociology is predominantly the study of human behaviour, but rather than looking at the behaviour of individuals, we look at the behaviour of groups. So we group and label people. For example, in education, rather than looking at why an individual did so well in their GCSEs, we'll look at why girls outperform boys in most subjects, apart from physics and maths, or why different ethnic groups achieve differently in GCSEs and A-levels.
Hi, I'm Grant and I teach Sociology at the Havant Campus. My favourite part of Sociology A-Level is youth culture. In youth culture, you will learn about how large, spectacular youth cultures like punks and hippies came about during the 50s, 60s, 70s and 80s. You're going to explore the arguments for why we no longer have these large, spectacular youth cultures today. We'll discuss how what it means to be a youth is something that's changed over time, and that there are economic, social and cultural changes which have led to the emergence of different youth cultures. We'll discuss the different values and beliefs that youth cultures have now and the values and beliefs that youth cultures had in the past, and why this impacts the behaviours and characteristics that those people will have. We will also explore the reasons for why some young people join subcultures like organised criminal gangs. Finally, we'll use our knowledge of all the different sociological theories like Marxism and feminism to analyse the activities of youth cultures from different perspectives.
Hello, my name's Emily and I also teach on the Year 1 and Year 2 Sociology course. The unit that I'd like to talk about is research methods. It's one of my favourite ones to teach. As you've already heard, you'll look at a range of interesting topics in the sociology course. But the research methods unit is all about how sociologists actually explore these topics. Sociologists carry out research studies with the groups in society that they're most interested in. Some sociologists take a positivist approach, which means they explore the whole of society and try to identify patterns in behaviour. Other sociologists believe that to understand society, you need to get close to individuals, talk to them in detail about their experiences. Component 2 is all about exploring how this research is collected. The easiest way for you to understand that now is just by taking an example. So let's consider gangs, which feature in both the youth cultures unit and the crime topic. So if you were a sociologist who wanted to find out more about gangs, how might you go about it? So the first option, yep, that sounds good. But what if the gangs that you were observing realised you were watching them and attacked you, which has actually happened? Another option, okay, yes, you could do that, but would that really tell you anything about life as a gang member? A lot of sociologists do this initially, but it does only tell you about the particular gangs that the books have been written about, rather than generally about gang life. This would tell us a lot of information about patterns, but it wouldn't tell us anything about the individual reasons people have for joining gangs. Okay, this sounds like a great way to really find out about what it's really like to be a gang member. But what if you spend so much time with the gang that you begin to see life from their perspective and can no longer be objective about their criminal activities? In the research methods topic, you will explore key studies from a range of topic areas and evaluate how the data was collected in each case, developing your skills of analysis around practical, theoretical and ethical issues in sociological research.
Hello, my name is Amanda and I'm the final lecturer on the team. Sociology is the study of society, and a feature of most, if not all societies, is social inequality. Throughout the course, students will study how social inequalities shape experiences and opportunities, as well as identifying those groups most likely to experience it. So in component 3, we examine how class, age, gender, and ethnicity impact on life experiences and life chances, and explain it with reference to theoretical debates and arguments. It's a topic that is fundamental to a sociological understanding of the world.
Hi, me again. So I'm going to talk you through my favourite unit in the Sociology A Level, which is crime and deviance. In this unit, we'll investigate some key top concepts, such as what is the definition of crime and deviant and who decides? What's the role in the media in creating our understanding and fears of crime? Are they real and rational? What are current crime policies, how they've changed? Do prisons work, and do policing tactics work? We'll also look at different sociological theories around who commits crimes and why. Some of the key questions that we'll answer within the second year will be why are 40% of male young offenders currently in prison part of a Black, Asian or mixed ethnic group? Why is only 8% of crime committed by women? Is that statistic realistic? Why do 75% of prisoners reoffend? And who are the UK's main drug users? And that will feed into our understandings of the media.
Good evening, welcome to Criminology here on the Havant Campus. Welcome to our open evening. So Criminology here is not an A-level, it's a diploma, it's a subsidiary diploma, so it stands alone. And you can do this course alongside 2 other A-levels. It is an advanced level course, so it's equivalent to an A-level, and it's taken over the 2 years. So it's modular as well, so instead of actually having to do all the exams at the end of year 2, you are going to do them at the end of each year. And you'll have 2 controlled assessments, one in the first year and one in the second year. You'll also have an exam in the first year and also in the second year. It is accepted by most universities, but I would recommend that you do check with your universities that you might want to attend just to clarify that they will accept this as one of your courses, and that the grades that you achieve from this will be recognised by them. It carries the same UCAS points, so what you get for an A in psychology, for example, or sociology, you'll get the same UCAS points for that in criminology also. The grades are awarded from A to E, so you can either get an A, B, C, D, E, and to achieve an A star, you must achieve an A in every single one of the units to achieve that A star. So the first year you'll have the Unit 1 and Unit 2, which comprises of Unit 1 being an 8-hour controlled assessment. This is done over 3 days and it's done within exam conditions. We provide you with all the resources that you need. You do have a lovely booklet to attend, and so you complete the workbook, and this is an open book exam, so you can take this into your controlled assessment with you. In the end of Unit 2, you sit an 1.5 hour exam, and once they've completed, that's it done. Second year, we look at another controlled assessment. Again, you will have resources to take in with you. It's an open book exam, and it's another 8-hour controlled assessment done over 2 days. So that's and broken up into 4 sections. Unit 4, again, is an exam, and that's another 1.5 hour unit. So Unit 1 looks at changing awareness of crime. You will learn about crimes that are going underreported, things like honour crime, looking at domestic violence, hate crime, and we look at why these crimes go underreported. We understand the consequences of these crimes not being reported. What are the implications of these? How does this affect our society and how we are as people within our society? The influence the media has on crimes. We look at this throughout the whole of the course, how it can influence crimes and how they're reported. If they're not reported, how do we know about those crimes? And how do, with reporting them, does that mean, or with the media reporting them, does that give us a better understanding of these, and therefore we're more likely to report? We'll then look at how campaigns can bring about change. So actually by, showing people the changes that can happen through campaigns, and we will complete part of your controlled assessment is to complete a campaign within that 8 hours and to show how you can elicit change through a campaign. Unit 2 looks at criminological theory, so we're going to look at the biological makeup and how this influences us as criminals or not, how society can influence whether a person becomes a criminal, and how social change can affect how our laws change over time. In Year 2, we're going to look at the crime scene to courtroom. So we're going to look at the personnel that are involved in collecting evidence, how this is collected, how it's used within the courtroom, the structure of the courtroom, who are the personnel within the courtroom. We're going to look at key criminal cases like Stephen Lawrence and Sally Clark. We're going to look at the trial process, how the trial takes place, what happens during it, what happens after, how do we appeal, and we're going to examine information within criminal cases to see whether they were safe verdicts or not. The last unit is looking at crime and punishment. This is the process that is used for making laws. We're going to look at how laws come about, how do we influence those, how does society control and how does it aim to punish those who are committing crimes. And we'll also look at how effective are prisons and agencies that are involved in rehabilitating prisoners. So thank you for listening, and we look forward to seeing you soon. If you've got any further questions, please contact me on nikki.mccarthy@hsdc.ac.uk. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Hi everyone, welcome to Health and Social Care. My name is Katie.
I'm Sharon. We look forward to providing you information about the course.
So to give you a brief overview about the qualification, it's a BTEC extended certificate, which is equivalent to 1 A level. So you can do this alongside 2 other A levels on the Havant Campus. You can pretty much do any subject with it, but the subjects that complement it are psychology, sociology or criminology. The course is assessed 50-50, so via coursework and 2 externally assessed exams. With entry requirements, we're looking for English grade 4 and above, and then included with the 5 subjects at grade 4 and above.
In the first year, you will study 2 units. Unit 1 focuses on human lifespan development, the different influences on an individual's development, and how this relates to their care needs. You will explore different aspects of physical, intellectual, emotional, and social development across the lifespan. In this unit, you will be introduced to biological, psychological, and sociological theories associated with human lifespan development. This unit is assessed by a 90-minute external exam. Unit 5 introduces you to the values and issues that need to be considered when planning care and support that meets the needs of an individual. You will learn about the values and principles of meeting care and support needs and examine factors that can impact on a professional when providing care and support. This unit is assessed by written coursework.
Into the second year, following the same process of the first unit being assessed by a 90-minute exam, we look at working in health and social care. So looking at the roles and responsibilities of specific healthcare professionals, what they do, how they go about their day, and looking at the regulatory bodies they follow and codes of practice. Then the second unit is sociological perspectives, which is assessed by coursework, looking at how society impacts health and how health impacts society and linking it all together. So there's some theories that we look at across the whole area and linking it all together.
Through studying health and social care, not only will you develop transferable skills for university and employment, such as time management, communication and problem solving, but you will also gain invaluable knowledge to support progress to higher education, focusing on degrees such as health and social care management, social work, nursing, counselling, care assistant, mental health worker, teacher or early years educator. We will gain knowledge through case studies and guest speakers.